You have your prompts, but what did you do? They give you lots of information, and some of it you don't need to focus on. So we're going to go over the steps to breaking down the prompt, writing your thesis, then talk about creating your outline. So the first thing you do is circle your right sentence. So you find it and circle it. Then cross out everything above the right. We don't need this information, okay? This is not important. We don't need it. It's distractors, you guys. Don't listen to it, okay? Now, then, right, find the right, so what you circled, and underline or highlight the words after the word explaining. So now you have the main idea. So the main idea of this prompt is the importance of family. Then you need to turn the right into question, because that's what your essay is going to be about. So this one says, write an essay explaining the importance of family. So we need to only look what comes after the explaining. So the question would be, why is family important? Then we answer it. And by answering it, we're going to give our reason. And so remember, think not of yourself, but as the world as a whole. They improve our lives, they positively impact our lives, they make a difference, they provide support. Next, come up with examples to prove your reasons. So examples that prove your reasons from a movie, TV show, book, famous people, history. Now, one important thing is no personal examples. Why? Because it's easy to turn this into a narrative. Also, no use. Why? Because you're not being specific. You equals not specific. And we want this, okay? This is very, very important. Okay? Now, go back. So, using examples from history, literature, and entertainment is one of the best ways to increase your score and a must for this class. So, Lilo and Stitch, well, they provide support and make a difference. So right there, I'm addressing and identifying immediately what reason they go with. Why do you do this? Because if you don't have an example that goes with your reason, then maybe you need to change your reason. Then you pick two of your reasons. So I picked they make a difference and they positively impact our lives. Next, pick one example from your list for each reason. So we have Lilo and Stitch and Mulan. Now, it's okay to use two movies. However, it is best to have one example be from history or news. So now, write your thesis statement. So the thesis statement is going to be the main idea. So that's your right part of the prompt, plus a joining word, reason one and reason two. So if you see down here, okay, it says family is important because they make a difference and positively impact our lives. So now I can then ask myself, okay, can I simplify it? So are my reasons the same? Well, in this case, they're kind of very similar, so I can simplify it. However, you can keep them separate. So my thesis would be family is important because they make a difference in the lives of others. You guys, this is a key thing. It needs to have the words of the prompts in it. Okay? It needs to have that. So that way you know that you're hitting the prompts. You're getting exactly what they want. So ask yourself, does your thesis do these things? So remember, it should not be vague. It should clearly express what the essay is about. It should not be factual information, but make a discussable point. It should not start with, in this essay, I will. Or it also should not have you. Let me write that there too. No, you. No, you. Okay, so questions to ask yourself about your thesis. Do I address the problem? Okay, have I taken a position that others might challenge or oppose? Is my thesis statement specific enough? Okay, so if your thesis contains words like good or successful, you need to be more specific. Does your thesis pass the so what test? A reader's first response is so what? They need to clarify or connect to a larger issue. So does your thesis pass the how and why test? So if a reader's first response after reading your thesis statement is how or why, your thesis may be too open-ended and lack guidance for the reader. See what you can do to add to give the reader a better take. Now, creating an outline. So step one is you write the main idea, part of the prompt in the box that says write. Step two, write your thesis on the line that says thesis. Now, step three, in the reason part box, you take one of the reasons out of your thesis and turn it into a sentence. So example, if my thesis is family is important because they make a difference in the lives of others, then my reason one would be the significance of family can be seen in how they positively impact one another. So you may be asking, well, how do I do this? An easy way to do this is to look up synonyms for various words in your thesis. So another word for important is significant. Hint, hint, you can use that word in your essay. Now, go to where it says specific example with DK. DK is your background knowledge. So write one sentence introducing your example, then write a couple sentences giving any background information that is needed in order to answer the next section. Now, go to where it says how example proves connect to thesis. You're going to answer questions dealing with specifically how it goes with the prompt and the end result. So for importance of family, your questions would be, well, how did they show this? So how did your example show this? And what was the result? So how did they show that family was important? What was the result? Finally, go to where it says if, then. This will be your hypothetical thinking, which is the higher level thinking you need to have to get a higher score. In the bubble, you'll use the following sentence steps. If, your example, never, main idea prompt, then, your example again, would not have, and your reason. So as a result, what would happen? So it will look like this. The significance of family can be seen in how they positively impact one another. So that right there, okay, this is my reason sentence, the first sentence of my body paragraph. Then right here it says, in the movie Milan, family was very important. Soldiers came to their house to announce that each family had to send one male to join the war. Milan's father was the only male in her family. So I'm introducing my topic and giving you a little bit about what is needed to be able to say, well, what showed importance? What showed family was important? And what was the result? Well, Milan left in the middle of the night and took her father's place. Her ancestors sent her a guardian to help her on her journey. Milan was able to ensure that her others lived and was able to figure out who she was. Her ancestors' actions helped Milan to survive the war. If family was not important to Milan and her ancestors, then the lives of both Milan and her father would not have been positively impacted. Instead, Milan's father would have died. Or if Milan's ancestors did not help, then Milan could have been dishonored. Now, okay, you're going to repeat steps 2 of 6 for your second reason. Now remember, your second reason is a different example. Box 1 and 4. So it's your introduction and conclusion. So first, you write the hook where it says hook. And the sentence connecting your hook to your thesis where it says connecting sentence. So we want to stay away from questions. Okay? So no questions. Because what it ends up being like, do you think family is important, or why is family important? That's not really an attention getter, right? We want to grab their attention and draw them in. So the best hook is the imagine if. So imagine if, and then it's the opposite of your main idea. It, or you could say the world, life, would be an adjective. Now, right here, this is going to be a negative adjective, right? Because it's the opposite of what you think, okay? And then because and why. So the opposite of your reason, basically. Okay, so then this is what the end result of step 1 looks like. Imagine if there was no such thing as family, and everyone was raised in groups by people designated as caretakers. This would be atrocious because no one would have anyone to support them or help them, no matter the situation. Now my thesis, family is important because they make a difference in the lives of each other. Now, next part, step 2, go to where it says restate your thesis. Now, rewrite your thesis using different words. So you're not just going to restate your thesis in the exact same words. Then go to where it says summarizing your reasons, examples. So summarize your examples, proving your reasons. This is one sentence, okay? Now the last step, go to where it says figurative language, and you're going to use a simile or metaphor about your thesis. So this is what the finished outline looks like, and the conclusion would be, in conclusion, the important family is a person's family positively influences and changes their life. Just like how, in a movie, Milan and Lilo and Stitch, the characters' lives were affected by their family. Therefore, family is the key to life. So this is how yours should look, but dealing with whichever prompts we're talking about, okay? So in this case, for the very first essay, essay 1, it is importance of being honest, okay? Now, I hope you enjoyed I hope you got everything you need. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. Bye.